Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a moment and think about this. How many times have you looked at someone else's success, their looks, their lifestyle, their achievements, and thought, why am I not there yet? Why don't I have what they have? The only person you should ever compete with is the person you were yesterday. Too often we fall into the trap of measuring ourselves against others, looking at their progress, their achievements, their lifestyle, and questioning whether we measure up. But real success is not about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you were the day before. Growth, progress, and self-improvement should always be the goal. When you focus on your past self as the benchmark for success, you remove the pressure of unrealistic comparisons. You stop looking at someone else's highlight reel and start measuring your own growth. Maybe yesterday you hesitated to take action, but today you took a step forward. Maybe last year you lacked discipline, but today you show up consistently. That's progress, and that's what matters. The problem with comparing yourself to others is that you never have the full picture. You see their victories, but you don't see their struggles. You see their confidence, but you don't see the moments of doubt they had to push through. You see their success, but you don't see the years of effort, failure, and resilience that got them there. Every person is on a different journey, and every journey has its own challenges. When you make someone else's success your measuring stick, you set yourself up for frustration because you're playing a game that was never meant for you. Instead of chasing someone else's timeline, define your own. What matters is that you are learning, growing, and evolving. If you read one more page of a book than you did yesterday, that's improvement. If you made one better decision today than you did last week, that's progress. If you showed up when you didn't feel like it, that's a victory. When you focus on your own progress, you gain a sense of control over your life. You stop letting external factors dictate your happiness and success. Self-improvement is a lifelong journey. No one has it all figured out. Even the most successful people in the world continue to work on themselves every day. They don't waste time comparing. They focus on evolving. If you want to reach your full potential, shift your energy from looking at others to becoming the best version of yourself. Ask yourself, what can I do today that will make me stronger, wiser, or more capable than I was yesterday? Every small improvement compounds over time. One extra workout, one more hour of practice, one more day of discipline. It all adds up. The more you commit to outgrowing your past self, the faster you move toward the life you want. But the moment you start worrying about what someone else is doing, you lose momentum. Your path is yours alone. The only comparison that matters is between who you were and who you are becoming. Your biggest competition is not the person who has more money, more followers, or more success. It's the version of you that stayed the same. The version of you that let fear and self-doubt win. That's the person you're fighting against. And every time you push past your limits, break an old habit, or take a bold step forward, you're winning that battle. No one else can walk your path. No one else has your exact talents, experiences, or purpose. The more you embrace your own journey, the more fulfilled you become. Instead of looking at someone else's progress, redirect that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. The goal isn't to be better than anyone else, it's to be better than you were yesterday. Comparison destroys confidence and momentum. The moment you start measuring yourself against someone else, you shift your focus from your own progress to their achievements. You start questioning your abilities, doubting your worth, and second-guessing your journey. It's a dangerous cycle because it takes your energy away from building your own success and wastes it on worrying about someone else's. Confidence is built through action. Every time you take a step forward, every time you push through fear, every time you accomplish something, no matter how small, you build confidence. But when you compare yourself to others, you rob yourself of that power. Instead of celebrating your progress, you feel like you're behind. Instead of recognizing your strengths, you focus on what you lack. Instead of feeling motivated, you feel stuck. Momentum is everything when it comes to success. The more action you take, the more progress you make. The more progress you make, the more confidence you gain. It's a cycle that keeps you moving forward. But comparison breaks that cycle. It shifts your focus from what you can do to what you haven't done. It makes you hesitate. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you feel like no matter how hard you try, it will never be enough. That kind of thinking will keep you from reaching your full potential. When you compare, you are often measuring yourself against an unrealistic standard. You might see someone at the peak of their success, but you don't see the years of struggle that got them there. You don't see the failures, the setbacks, the sacrifices they made. You don't see the moments when they wanted to quit. All you see is the end result. And when you compare your beginning or middle to someone else's finish line, you are setting yourself up for frustration. The truth is, no two people have the same path. Everyone starts at a different point, faces different challenges, and grows at their own pace. Just because someone else is ahead of you in one area doesn't mean you are behind. Your journey is unique, and your progress cannot be measured by someone else's timeline. When you accept that, you free yourself from the pressure of trying to keep up with others and instead focus on what truly matters, your own growth. Every time you allow comparison to slow you down, you lose precious time that could be spent improving yourself. Instead of worrying about what others are doing, shift your focus to your own path. What skills can you develop? What habits can you improve? What actions can you take today to move one step closer to your goals? The moment you stop looking around and start looking ahead, you regain control. You must train yourself to celebrate progress, not perfection. If you focus on being just a little better today than you were yesterday, you will see growth. And growth leads to confidence. The more you improve, the more capable you feel. The more capable you feel, the more action you take. That is how real momentum is built. Confidence does not come from having everything figured out. It comes from trusting yourself, taking action, and learning along the way. But comparison takes that trust away. It makes you feel like you are never enough. It makes you question whether you are capable. And if you let it, it will keep you from ever realizing your true potential. The most successful people in the world are not focused on others. They are focused on becoming the best version of themselves. They do not waste time comparing. They do not let someone else's progress slow them down. They understand that confidence and momentum come from consistent effort, from showing up every day, from putting in the work, and from believing that their path is their own. Social media is a filtered illusion, not reality. Every time you scroll through your feed, you are seeing a carefully curated version of people's lives. You see the highlights, the successes, the perfect moments. But what you don't see is the struggle behind the scenes. You don't see the late nights, the failures, the doubts, and the sacrifices. You don't see the moments of frustration, insecurity, or fear. Social media is designed to show the best parts of life, not the full picture. When you compare yourself to what you see online, you are comparing your real life, the ups, the downs, the struggles, to someone else's edited version. It's like comparing a behind-the-scenes rehearsal to a perfectly produced movie. No one is posting about the times they felt like quitting, the times they failed, or the days they struggled to get out of bed. But that doesn't mean those moments don't exist, they just aren't being shared. The problem is when you constantly consume these polished versions of reality, it can make you feel like you're falling behind. You start thinking, why don't I have what they have? Why am I not as successful? Why does their life seem so perfect while mine feels messy? But the truth is, nobody's life is perfect. Every person has struggles, challenges, and setbacks, whether they show them or not. Think about how many times you've taken a photo and chosen the best one to post. Maybe you adjusted the lighting, changed the angle, or applied a filter to make it look better. Now multiply that by millions of people doing the exact same thing. What you see online is not real life. It's a highlight reel. It's a digital illusion designed to look effortless even when it's not. This constant exposure to unrealistic portrayals of success and happiness can be damaging if you don't recognize it for what it is. It can make you feel inadequate. It can make you doubt your progress. It can make you feel like no matter how hard you try, you'll never measure up. And that feeling can paralyze you, keeping you stuck instead of moving forward. But the moment you realize that social media is not an accurate reflection of reality, you take back your power. You stop letting it define your worth. You stop feeling like you need to compete with an illusion. You start focusing on what really matters. Your own growth, your own journey, your own progress. Instead of using social media to compare yourself to others, use it as a tool for inspiration and learning. Follow people who motivate you, who provide value, who help you grow. If you find yourself feeling discouraged after scrolling through your feed, take a step back and reassess. Are you consuming content that lifts you up or content that makes you feel like you're not enough? Be intentional about what you allow into your mind. It's also important to take breaks from social media and reconnect with real life. The best moments in life aren't captured in a post. They are lived, experienced, and felt. Spend time with people who matter. Work on your goals without feeling the need to share every step of the journey. Find joy in the process, not in the validation of likes, comments, or followers. You have to remind yourself that success is not determined by how perfect things look on the outside. True success is built in the quiet moments when no one is watching. It's built through hard work, perseverance, and resilience. It's not about how your life appears online. It's about the progress you make in reality. The next time you catch yourself comparing your life to what you see on social media, pause and ask yourself, am I comparing myself to something real, or am I comparing myself to an illusion? The answer will always be the same. What you see online is just a small fraction of the truth. And the more you focus on your own journey instead of someone else's highlight reel, the more peace, confidence, and success you will find. Focus on your strengths and unique gifts. Every person has something special about them, something that sets them apart. But too often, people waste time and energy worrying about what they lack instead of developing what they already have. When you focus on your weaknesses, you reinforce self-doubt. When you focus on your strengths, you build confidence and momentum. It's easy to look at someone else and think, they're better at this than I am. They have more talent, they have more resources, but that kind of thinking will never get you anywhere. Instead of worrying about what someone else is good at, ask yourself, what am I good at? What comes naturally to me? What do people appreciate about me? The moment you start identifying and strengthening your natural abilities, you begin unlocking your true potential. The problem with comparison is that it makes you chase strengths that may not even align with who you are. If you're constantly trying to be like someone else, you ignore what makes you unique. You were never meant to follow someone else's blueprint. You were designed with your own gifts, your own perspective, and your own purpose. And the more time you spend developing those gifts, the more valuable you become, not just to yourself, but to the world. Think about successful people. They don't try to be great at everything. They identify what they do best and double down on it. A great athlete doesn't waste time trying to become a musician. A powerful speaker doesn't compare themselves to a writer. A brilliant artist doesn't wish they were a scientist. They focus on their strengths. They refine their skills. They work on what they can offer. And because of that, they stand out. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to fix all their weaknesses instead of amplifying their strengths. And that's not to say you should ignore areas for improvement, but if you spend your whole life trying to be good at things that don't align with your natural talents, you'll always feel like you're struggling. But when you put your energy into what you're naturally great at, you find flow. You feel energized. You build confidence because you're doing what you were meant to do. The key to success is not being good at everything. It's mastering what you do best. That's where fulfillment comes from. That's where real achievement happens. The world doesn't need another copy of someone else. It needs the best version of you. And the only way to become that is by recognizing and developing the unique strengths you already have. Sometimes the things you are best at are the things you overlook. You assume that because something comes easy to you, it must not be valuable, but that's not true. What's effortless for you might be incredibly difficult for someone else. What you take for granted could be the very thing that sets you apart. Maybe you have a way with people. Maybe you have a creative mind. Maybe you're a problem solver. Maybe you have a talent that you haven't fully developed yet. The only way to find out is to pay attention to what lights you up, what excites you, and what you naturally excel at. And if you want to grow, if you want to succeed, stop trying to fit into someone else's mold. Start identifying the things that make you stand out. Start building on your strengths instead of dwelling on your weaknesses. The moment you shift your focus to what you can do instead of what you can't, everything changes. You stop feeling like you're falling behind. You stop feeling like you're not enough. You start realizing that you are already given everything you need to succeed. You just have to develop it, refine it, and own it. Your journey is yours alone. No one else has lived your life, walked in your shoes, or faced your exact challenges. No one else has your experiences, your perspective, or your unique calling. That means your path will never look like anyone else's. The moment you understand that is the moment you free yourself from the pressure of comparison and fully embrace the life you are meant to live. Too many people get caught up in trying to follow someone else's timeline. They see others achieving things at a certain age, reaching milestones at a certain pace, and they assume that they need to do the same, but life doesn't work like that. There is no universal schedule for success. Some people find their purpose early in life, while others discover it later. Some people take a straight path, while others take detours. Some people seem to move fast, while others build their success over time. None of it matters because your journey is yours and it's unfolding exactly as it should. When you compare your progress to someone else's, you set yourself up for unnecessary frustration. You start feeling like you're behind, like you're not where you should be. but who decided where you should be? The truth is, there is no right time for anything. The right time is your time, the moment when you are ready, when you have grown, when you have learned the lessons that will prepare you for the next step. Rushing that process or trying to force yourself into someone else's timeline will only lead to disappointment. Success is not about speed, it's about direction. It doesn't matter how fast you go if you're heading in the wrong direction. Some people seem to achieve things quickly, but if they aren't building on a strong foundation, that success won't last. Others may take longer, but they are building something real, something sustainable, something that will stand the test of time. Your job is not to move at someone else's pace. Your job is to make sure you are moving in the right direction at the right time for you. Every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. Every challenge you overcome is preparing you for the next level. Every delay, every setback, every moment that feels like a pause is actually part of the process. Sometimes the greatest growth happens in the seasons where it looks like nothing is happening. That's where you develop resilience, patience, and wisdom. That's where you learn the lessons that will equip you for what's coming next. You have to trust that your journey is unfolding the way it's meant to. You have to believe that every experience, every challenge, every opportunity, no matter how big or small, is shaping you. The more you focus on your own path instead of looking at what everyone else is doing, the more clarity and peace you will find. It's easy to get distracted by other people's progress, especially in a world where everyone shares their wins but rarely shares their struggles. But when you stay focused on your own journey, you stop wasting energy worrying about things that don't matter. You stop feeling like you're in a race against others. You stop questioning whether you're enough, whether you're doing things on time, whether you're where you're supposed to be. You start realizing that you are exactly where you need to be. Your purpose is yours alone. Your story is unfolding in its own time. No one else can walk this path for you. No one else can define what success looks like for you. The moment you stop trying to fit into someone else's timeline and start trusting your own, everything changes. You gain confidence in your decisions. You find peace in your progress. You move forward without hesitation, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. True fulfillment comes from becoming the best version of yourself, not from trying to outshine someone else. When you spend your time and energy comparing yourself to others, you lose sight of your own growth. You start measuring your success based on someone else's achievements instead of focusing on your own progress. But real success isn't about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Every person has their own unique potential, their own talents, and their own strengths. But too often, people waste their energy chasing someone else's definition of success. They look at what others have accomplished and feel like they need to do the same, even if it doesn't align with their true purpose. They see someone excelling in a certain area and think they need to compete, rather than recognizing that their own gifts lie elsewhere. When you are constantly focused on what others are doing, you lose sight of your own journey. You become reactive instead of proactive. Instead of setting your own goals and working toward them, you start adjusting your efforts based on what others are achieving. But that's a never-ending race. There will always be someone who seems further ahead, someone who has something you don't, someone who looks more successful from the outside. The moment you stop chasing after others and start focusing on your own potential, you free yourself from that cycle. The truth is, success is not a competition. Life is not a race where only one person can win. Your growth does not take away from someone else's, and their success does not diminish your own. There is enough room for everyone to thrive. When you embrace that, you stop feeling threatened by other people's achievements and start using them as inspiration instead. You recognize that their success is proof of what's possible, not a reason to doubt yourself. The only person you need to compete with is who you were yesterday. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you pushing yourself to be better? That is what truly matters. It doesn't matter how fast someone else is moving. It doesn't matter how much further ahead they seem. What matters is that you are moving in the right direction at your own pace, on your own path. Growth is not always about massive leaps. It's about consistent progress. It's about making small improvements every single day. If you focus on being just 1% better today than you were yesterday, and you do that every day, over time, you will see incredible transformation. But if you spend all your energy worrying about what others are doing, you will never give yourself the chance to reach your full potential. When you compare yourself to others, you are often comparing your beginning to their middle or your middle to their peak. You don't see the struggles they went through to get where they are. You don't see the challenges they had to overcome. You don't see the doubts, the failures, the setbacks. All you see is the end result. And when you measure yourself against that, it can make you feel like you're not good enough. But the truth is they had their own journey, just like you have yours. Your job is not to match someone else's success, it's to create your own. Your success will look different from theirs because your path is different. And that's exactly how it's meant to be. The moment you stop looking sideways and start looking forward, you begin to see what's possible for you. You begin to unlock your true potential. You begin to grow in ways you never thought possible. Because when you focus on being the best version of yourself, there is no limit to what you can achieve.